This is the Pyramid of Cheops, built in 2584 BC as an eternal tomb for the pharaoh. The angle of the pyramid is 51 degrees on each side. The faces of the pyramid point exactly to north, south, east, and west. There is as little as 10 centimeters of height difference between the corners. That is truly an impressive feat of engineering, even in today's terms. The pyramid contains 2.3 million blocks, weighing on average 2.5 tons. They built the pyramid on a hill to reduce the quantity of limestone that had to be quarried. This was shipped in from the other side of the Nile, aided by the fact that the Nile was in flood. Now there is only desert, but in ancient Egypt, villages, full of people working on the pyramid, would have surrounded it. People came from all over Egypt while the Nile flooded. They did that for a third of a year, for 20 years, to build the pyramid. They believed that the pharaoh was a god and made the river flood. Not diverting their labor would mean that the river wouldn't flood and the crops would die. The pyramid has been hollowed and cut in half to show the inner workings. The entrance is 1/4 of the way up the side of the pyramid, to make it harder for tomb robbers. There are 2 passages, one leading up and one leading down. The one leading up was blocked, so the subterranean chamber was just a decoy to put robbers off the scent. That didn't stop them, though, as the pyramid has already been robbed. This thin shaft is called the Greaves shaft. This linked the passages to the king and queen's chambers, to the passage leading to the subterranean chamber. This stone blockage in front of the king's chamber was to try to stop the tomb robbers. It failed, though. The king's chamber had the best decoration, because it was for the pharaoh. The sarcophagus contained his body. The name comes from the Greek flesh-eating stone. This is because they thought when the body decomposed, the stone was eating it. This is a canopic jar with a heart in it. These contain the organs of the pharaoh, so they would be preserved in the afterlife. The Egyptians believed the pharaoh would live forever in the afterlife, but believed that all the things he needed had to be buried with him. Some of these items were drink, food, and tools. There is a thin passage pointing at the stars, so the pharaoh would have a clear path to the afterlife. The small chambers are above her to relieve the weight of the pyramid. In the queen's chamber, there is a niche in the wall that probably held an artifact of great value, but has been stolen, so there is no way of telling what it is.